Hello guys, and welcome to today's video. And in today's video, I would like to share with you how to host your static website on AWS. And as you can see here on the screen, we have several resources in AWS, like the Route 53, CloudFront, ACM, which is the AWS Certificate Manager, and the S3 bucket. In this case, I'm also going to be making use of Namecheap instead of just Route 53. This particular video, I'm going to show you how you can use a domain from Namecheap, link it to the Route 53 so that Route 53 handles your DNS, and then show you the steps it takes to upload your files on the S3 bucket in AWS, and then finally have a launched website. Without further ado, let's go. Alright, so to begin with this particular video, I would like to talk about a few steps. First of all, we need to prepare our files and also the domain. We also need the files. I have my files. These are the files I'm going to make use of in this video. Okay, and we will look at it later on as we go. Okay, so this is the domain, and the subdomain I'm going to use is this. Next, first things first, we need to go to our AWS account, go to the AWS Certificate Manager, North Virginia. Then we have to create a request for the public certificate, making use of the site. In this case, I'm using eddiehills.site. You can use your own domain. Okay, and then you also create for the subdomain. Okay, the subdomain can be any type of domain that you want, right, which is linked to your original root domain. Okay, in this case, www.eddiehills.site is the subdomain. So let's go back to AWS and go to the ACM, and we can see it here, Certificate Manager. Click it, and then we just wait until it's loaded. All right, so now it's opened. We have to create a request. Over here, you click on request, and then the next thing to do is, okay, it's a public certificate. Next, then you put the domain. In this case, I'm using eddiehills.site. I'm also using www. But in case I want to use a different subdomain in the future, I can just use this asterisk, okay, eddiehills.site. It covers all other subdomains, okay, and I leave the other settings as is and click on request. Right now, I've requested for my certificate. Now I'm going to be giving CNAME. Let me go back to the list of certificates. Okay, here I'm going to have a CNAME. Now this CNAME is what I'm going to link to my Namecheap. Okay, and once I link it to my Namecheap account, what that means is I'm telling the certificate authority in North Virginia that I am the owner of that website. So let's do that now. I'm going to copy this CNAME up to this point without the point, and then go to this place, my Namecheap. Okay, go to advanced DNS, and then in advanced DNS, I'm simply going to create a CNAME. So over here in the host record, we look for CNAME, and here in the host, we paste what we copied. In the value, we copy the entire CNAME value, which is this. Both of them are the same, okay? So you can choose any of them, and then you come over here in target and you paste. Here you make it 1, which is your time to leave, and click save changes. All right, now that we are done with this, we have to go back to our AWS Certificate Manager to look at the status. The status still shows pending, we have to refresh the page to see if it has been issued. It usually takes a few minutes to hours, so I suggest that you wait a few minutes until you get it issued. So I'll pause the recording here until I get an issued certificate. All right, as we can see, it has been issued. The status shows issued. We have been issued a certificate. So I think we are done with step 1. Okay, so bring this here. We are done with step 1. It has been issued. Step 2 will be to switch our DNS to Route 53. Okay, so what we just did was to get a certificate. Okay, second, we are going to assign our DNS to Route 53. To do that, we need to go to Route 53 and create hosted zone. Okay, and then we will have to transfer the name servers, the names, to our Namecheap. Let's go do that quickly. So navigate to Route 53. And I think it's best to open this in different tabs. So like duplicate, okay, duplicate while you still use. So this is the Route 53 one, okay, because I'm still going to go back to certificate manager. Now here in Route 53, all we need is to create hosted zone. And in the creation of hosted zone, okay, we need the domain, all right, the domain of the hosted zone. In this case, we are using eddieheels.site, as I said, okay. So I'm going to put that here, eddieheels.site. You can create, write a description, okay. So this is my static site. Okay, you can do that. It's always good to give some description. It's a public hosted zone, not a private. We are not working in the VPC, so it's a public. Create hosted zone. Immediately after this has been created, we will now have some name servers. So these are the name servers that have been given to me by AWS. I just have to copy them one after the other and put them in my Namecheap. To do that, I have to go back to where I was. Remember, we were at advanced DNS. Next, I go to domain and this particular place. Click on that, and I have to wait. Once it loads, I go down to name servers and click here, go to custom DNS. Here I impute all the name servers that were given to me by AWS in the hosted zone. I copy them without the full stop, okay, the period, okay, and do that for all 4 of them. Finally paste. Okay, so now I have pasted all 4 of them, and next thing I have to do is to save. I click here to save, and as you can see at the top, you will see a notification that it might take 48 hours. It doesn't really take that long all the time. It depends on several things, but in this case, I hope it takes a few minutes. Okay, in the meantime, since we are done with doing this switch of DNS, we will go to the next step. So we are done with this. We'll go to the next step. Okay, the next step is the creation of our S3 bucket. Okay, so we have to go to create our S3 bucket using the same domain. Okay, this is the domain we are using that we got from Namecheap. Okay, to do that, we have to come here. So like I said, you come here to look for what S3 is, a S3 bucket. I will open a new tab for this, and while that is opening, I also want to open for CloudFront because we will need that soon. So CloudFront, we are going to need that as well. Okay, so here in the S3 bucket, We are going to create a new bucket. Okay, new bucket, general purpose. Okay, so we have eddieHughes.site. I created this before. Unfortunately, because we can't have more than one S3 bucket name, so I will just make use of this. But if you wanted to create an S3 bucket, come over here to general purpose bucket and then create bucket. Then when you click on that, you put the bucket name, in this case Eddie Hughes, right? Eddie Hughes. Let me copy it from here. Eddie Hughes. eddieHughes.site. That's the name of the bucket or the domain. And then all you need to do next is to leave this as block all public access, because we want CloudFront to be the system that delivers our content to individuals everywhere in the world, and to secure our S3 bucket. We don't want any DDoS attack. Others, you leave them as is, okay, and you create your bucket. But since I have already created that bucket, this is it over here. Okay, this is how it will look. So I created two buckets. I created the one for eddieHughes.site, as you can see, my domain, and I also created for www.eddieHughes.site, which is the subdomain. Okay, and what's the next step? The next step, we are done with this, and we also done with this. The next step will be to go to the properties. Okay, like I said, we need to make the subdomain, which is the www. To be able to redirect to eddieHughes.site. Okay, so let's do that now. First of all, in our eddieHughes.site, we need to come over here to properties, scroll down to static website hosting. Okay, click on the edit, and over here, when you come here in the first place, it looks like this. Okay, so why you see it this way, enable, is because I have edited this already. All right, so now you click enable, and after that, in the hosting type, you click on host a static website. Okay, then after that, you scroll down, you type the default page. In this case, I'm using index.html. As you can see, that's the default page of my website. And then next, if you want, you can type some error message you would like for your website to display if you can't get content. And that's it for now. You click on save changes. Okay, and once you do that for your domain, which is the eddieHughes.site or whatever domain you have, next we go back to our buckets and do the one for the subdomain, which is www.eddieHughes.site. To do that, you come over here to properties, scroll down to the static website hosting. Now we want to make sure that our subdomain is directed to our main domain, our root domain. Okay, the same way, enable. Next, we click on redirect, not host, redirect. And where do we want to redirect? We want to redirect it to the host, to the root, which is eddieHughes.site, and we want to use the protocol HTTPS. Okay, and then we save it. Okay, save the changes. So we are good for now in the part of step 3. Step 3 is done, so we bring this over here. Step 3 is done for now, so we'll bring this over here. So how many more steps? Next, we go to upload our files. To upload your files, you simply just need to go to the root domain. Okay, root domain is eddieHughes.site, and here we come over to object. In object, we can either click on upload, as you can see here, or we could drag and drop. So in this case, I'm going to simply drag and drop from where it is. You probably might not see it, but I'm dragging and I'm dropping. Okay, so I'm dropping it on my root domain, eddieHughes.site, and these are the domains. So this is the index. Can you see the index here? You probably can't see it. I will show you when I upload. So once you drag and drop, you come over to upload, and once you upload the files, I think this is going to take a long time, so I will pause the recording here until it's uploaded. All right, so we have it all uploaded. 100% has been successfully uploaded. We have all of this, so we just cancel this and close. Here in the root domain, eddieHills.site, we can see the index.html I was talking about. So this is our default page, our home page, which I listed over there when I was talking about the properties for this root domain. All right, so we are done with step 4. Step 4 is finished. So we bring this down here. Step 4 is finished. Now the very critical part is the creation of our CloudFront distribution. All right, next we go to our CloudFront. We need to create a distribution. In your CloudFront, click on distribution over here on the left. Next, create distribution. Here you type the name of the distribution. I prefer to use the create distribution page. I do not like this new distribution creation page. First of all, I need to type the name of my domain, right? The domain I will be using here is eddieHills.site. This has been provided already. Next, for the origin access, I'm going to make use of what? The origin access control settings. All right. Next, I'm going to create access control, create a new one. Okay, so I'm going to create this sign request. Yes. Okay, so they said what? They said it exists. Then what I'm going to do is just look here. I think it should be this. So all of these have been filled. Usually you create a new OAC, but in this case I've already created this in the past, so that's why it's like that. Next, I'm not going to enable origin shield. I'm going to leave it that way. Next, I'm going to keep scrolling. Ensure that you redirect HTTP to HTTPS. This is very important. Next, we scroll down and we leave these ones the way they are. There is no need to touch this since this is just a simple project. We could also enable web application firewall, but in this case, I will not enable it because it's just a simple demo. But usually you should enable it if it's for production level or for your personal portfolio, which you want to keep more secure. So in this case, I leave it that way. And next, I'm going to leave this to all edge locations for better caching and better less latency when we talk about distribution. I'm going to scroll down. Here I'm going to add CNAME. I'm going to put in Eddie Hills and www.eddiehills.site. I'm going to add my certificate. If you remember, we created a certificate over here. Yeah, here. We created a certificate, right? The name of the certificate is 509F. And over here, is it the same? Yes, 509F. So this is it. We use that to sign our website. We are not going to enable this of $600 per month. So I'm going to put here the index.html, okay, which will be the default page. And yeah, that's all. That's all I'm going to do here for this particular distribution creation. And next, what I'm going to do next is just to click on create distribution. It's going to take a few minutes. Beautiful. Now we have successfully created our CloudFront. And as you can see, there is a warning over here that our S3 bucket we need to update its policy. To do that, I will copy the policy over here. It has been copied. Navigate to my bucket. Okay. And the bucket is the root bucket, okay, which is the Eddie Hills. And I go to permissions rather. look for the bucket policy over here and edit. Okay, now scroll down and you remove what you have there, paste the new one, and once you are done with that, you save changes. All right, so that's done. Let's go back to our distribution because we have done that, and refresh the page to see if the warning is still going to be there. All right, we don't have any warning. So we are done with step 5, and we are also done with step 6 because we did the bucket, the policy, right? We've done that already. So I'm just going to put this here, and I'm going to drag it over here. Finally, we need to go configure our Route 53 records. So we need a record, and we need a record for our domain, in this case, which is our Eddie Hills, okay, Eddie Hills site, and we also need for our subdomain, which is www.eddiehills.site. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, go to our, it's over here, yes, over here, create record in our Route 53. I'm going to create 2 records. One of them will be for eddiehills.site, and it's going to be a record. The Alias is going to be our CloudFront distribution, and the distribution is this one that we created just now, and everything is supposed to be the same, simple routing. We don't need latency of failover routing. Next, we are going to add another one for www, in this case, a record as well, and same thing, CloudFront, and then finally the distribution. And that's it, create record. So we are done with the basic records. If you want to also do for PV6, so we could do that as well, just in case. So we can do that. Go to AAAA, okay, 4 A's, and Alliance, this one, distribution, okay, another one. This will be for www, and we are going to get for the 4 A's, Alias, or is it Alias rather, and create record. All right, so we are done with step 7. So let me drag that here. So what's next, guys? The next step will be to validate, to verify. So let's go verify if our website works. Let's go do that. All I have to do now is to come over here and impute the website to see. Yes, guys, our website works. This is the website. Okay, guys. So yes, we can also try for www.eddiehills.site. Okay, that also works. And we can also look at our security, the certificate authority. It was issued by Amazon. Can we see it? All right, guys, so that's that for this video. I will be sharing the PDF to the steps and for you to have a better understanding about this particular skill set you need for this project. In the future, I'll post more videos concerning the use of infrastructure as code, Terraform, to set up your static website. And I might also do a video using the infrastructure as a service, which is using the servers of AWS to launch our static website, and probably also dive into dynamic websites. All right, so that's it, guys. Let me know what you would like me to, the video would like me to do next. Really appreciate you watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much.